You have a very noisy keeper.
Yeah.
Come on. Start up, Twitch. There we go.
Yay!
Yay!
It's been really bad the past few days.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, why?
Sorry about that, everybody. We were actually talking. We were going over this whole thing. We had some really exciting stuff that Omid told us not to say, and we said it. And now I had to restart the show, and because Twitch just wasn't working. Twitch has been flaky lately.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Really
So-
bad Twitch.
My guess is that everybody got a whole bunch of nice hardware during the holiday season, and now Twitch is just going, "Oh no, everybody's a live streamer."
Not to go too far off topic before I didn't even do the intro yet or anything, but the deal was that they're now 20% of the Twitch streamers are now PlayStation 4 owners. So
Jeez.
that's a huge chunk, and there's more people watching Twitch than there are watching like 6 major networks on television.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes. Pretty awesome. All right. So anyway, welcome back everybody into the portal. We had to restart it a couple times because Twitch just wasn't catching it. So I apologize for that. As you see, we got new digs here. Redid the graphics a little bit. So Omid can go in the center box if he ever decides he wants to get on the show with us. I put the call out for everybody, all the devs, to come on the show, and they were busy. They're busy up until the show starts, and all of a sudden they're there on the show watching.
Yeah, it's funny how that works.
It is funny. How that
Yeah.
works. So, Trendane is awake. He's just power napping. New digs, not new dicks. No,
Yeah.
these are old dicks. They're all the old dicks around here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a pretty young dick, so
He's,
you know.
yeah. Speaking of which, look at that scruff you got going on. Is it
Yep.
going to be braidables anytime soon?
I don't know. Give it another few days. Be breadable.
Another few days, huh?
Yeah.
Very nice. Oh, it says I might need to invite him in advance. I invited him 15 minutes before the show went live, Mr.
That's
Gordon
pretty
Q.
advanced.
Yeah, that's 15 minutes. Like, what do they have to do? Omid could have trimmed his beard and everything by then.
Yeah.
Since watching the show is easy, I can mute it if someone comes in my office. Yeah, you don't want to let the people know that you're watching this.
Nice.
You're like
That's
all
fun.
ninja about it.
Because the senior brand manager isn't supposed to be watching, things related to the brand.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny how that works, but
Yeah. Locke is not here tonight. Apparently something happened at work, so he had to go in last minute. Sorry.
Somebody else has the key to the potato locker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can't live without potatoes at work. So Locke is very busy. Sorry, everybody, but that's okay. We can trudge on without our good friend Mr. Locke, and we'll do fine.
Oh, it says you just went live on Twitch.
That's neat.
I'm so glad I get emails like that because it's not like I'm aware of it on my own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not here. Yes, he's cooking his ass off. Everybody who
weird
might be
diet
new
plan.
to the show, if you'd like, please put question in brackets, and our chat gnome Maka will gather them up and put them into the chat over here so that we can look at them later. We are not developers, but we have developers in the audience. We have Mr. Omid Dariani, and we
He was also not a developer.
well, he's not really a developer. He's sort of attached to development. And then we also have Felgon.
Like a lamp ring? I mean, what are we talking about?
Yeah, something like that. And we have Felgon, who is Eric, the graphic artist guy, person man.
I heard say Viking.
Yeah, he is a Viking. Eric, are you a Viking? First question of the night. Eric is a Viking. Or are you a Viking?
I was going to say, that's the statement.
It's
Eric is a Viking?
It's not that. It's that we have work to do. So I need to be able to take a break and have a meeting sometimes. Like, what are you doing, Omid? You're not... Like, what? Like, there's a game coming out in a couple of months or weeks or whatever?
You transcend development. That means you're a producer. That's a nice way to put it.
That's a good way to put it. All right, so what's new? What's new stuff going on right now? We have the new dev letter just came out.
Yep.
Producer letter, I mean. And
Yep.
what was some of the stuff they talked about in there?
Crafting is going to be talked about soon, and they're going to hopefully let us into the alpha soon. And
Trademark
Dave
symbol
George,
at the end of each one of these,
yeah.
by the way.
Dave Georgeson made some comment about like everybody get your 64-bit OSs ready because it's not optimized for 32-bit soon.
Mm-hmm.
So it's they keep hinting it and pushing that it's going to be soon, but then there's still this whole you might be getting a first hands-on look demo thing on the 31st. You might be the first person ahead of your friends to see it. So they're still keeping the wording so ambiguous. Like, Urgh.
It's a lot of marketing.
It is.
It's all right. What are your thoughts, Trendane? You're shaking your head down there.
It's dangerous, is what it is.
What's dangerous?
Constantly keeping people, a fish on the line like that, it is a very dangerous thing. There is a very delicate balance to it, and if you are not careful, you are going to wind up having Cyril's question that just got, pasted into our Skype chat for later. It's going to become a serious problem.
Yeah, that is a good point.
We're also seeing the same thing with Star Citizen. It's dangerous to do it this way.
They keep pulling the thing back a little bit, and then we keep going, okay, it's only a couple more days, a couple more weeks. So
it's not as bad with this as it is with Star Citizen, because the soon is much more tangible.
Yeah, we know it's coming at least in March.
Yeah, it's not like it's a year and a half out, and we're just still trying to string us along and keep the interest going. It's not as bad as it is with some other stuff.
Affixus says, I always thought TM stood for tomorrow. What are your thoughts there, Tobran? What do you think about the delay or the tease?
The tease is brutal. It's as simple as that. We all want to know, but they just say, "Oh, it's this, it's that, it's this," but not giving a direct answer. And
hasn't Sony done this all along, though? I mean, as far back as I can remember, this has always sort of been their MO, is to always sort of like tease us a little bit like there.
Yeah, I mean, this time there's some hard dates set. Like at this point, anytime in February, the early access alpha can start. But as soon as March comes around, we have to start with the everybody who gets alpha access gets in, because marketing and founders packs have dictated as such. And then the next one is at the end of March, at the beginning of or is it at the beginning? It's the next month after that, basically, is that the closed beta has to start, just because, once again, marketing has dictated as such. But it can stay in closed beta for as long as it wants. A year, probably not, but it could go so far that we don't even hear about it coming to conclusion and going live until sometime during SOE Live. So we'll see. It could be a little while before it finally goes live, but it's definitely going to be in closed beta at a finite point in time because of marketing and founders packs.
Yeah. I mean, it's coming soon, folks. It's not like that they're just teasing us indefinitely, but it is a bit frustrating. It would be nice if they would just to say, you know what, it's coming February 2nd or something. But maybe they're going to announce that at the party. We just, I guess, have to wait. That's probably what's going to happen at the party. They're going to say February 22nd is the latest date or whatever. They say your Jaffa is small. So Tobin, show us your Jaffa tonight.
Okay.
You got some special Jaffas?
I got some very special Jaffas. So everyone's used to be having like the Jaffa cake, like little round things. But today I found Jaffa bars. It's like a little bar, and it's amazing, and it's okay.
Boy, they're into Jaffas over there.
Oh yeah.
What's the matter, Trendane? Why'd you hide your screen? You don't want to see his Jaffa?
I would be covering the TV screen.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like it's backwards. Okay.
The next thing he's going to be busting out is like Earn Brew gelato or something. Now that might actually be pretty
drinking
interesting.
it pinky up.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about the party, because somebody just mentioned in chat. So Legendary is going, right?
Yep.
And Tobran's going. Locke is going?
No.
Locke is not going.
He's getting married. He's going to Vegas.
No, that's Vegas. That's later on. So
Even still, he's got to save up for it. So
okay, so it's you two are going. Trendane's still up in the air. Definitely not going.
no,
Not going.
Okay, so you two are going, and you're gonna stream live from the party. We're gonna do a live into the portal from the party, right? And we're gonna see you guys playing.
You know, I asked about that. I sent an email to Omid, and he said earlier in chat that he's been busy and waiting to write me back when he can.
Yeah,
So
these guys are really busy. I'm just picking on them. But
yeah, but that's basically the official answer. Is we'll hear back when he sends me back an email, and then I don't know. He might make me sign an NDA before that. I don't know. We'll see.
well,
but-
I mean, if you're at the party, at the function, I don't see why.
You will have already signed one.
Yeah, we'll have already signed one, but that means any filming or live streaming would have to be done away from where anything NDA related would be discussed. So pretty much the only way we could do that is if we're streaming from, like, I don't know, Omid's office or something.
He doesn't have an office. He sits in a cubicle like everybody else.
I have no idea if we can make a stream happen on site. Oh, we can do something. Even if you guys were to film some footage ahead of time. He said he would love it, but it'd be logistically difficult. I was just kidding. I mean, I didn't want you guys to do any of the work. Literally, it was supposed to be these guys. These guys are supposed to show up with their ability, their super cameras, their cell phones, or whatever, and stream to Twitch for us.
for this, I've got my super camera, I've got a tripod and a microphone ready to go.
What I'm thinking is, like you could take a cell phone with Skype or something like that on it, and you could stream. You could just be on Skype call. I didn't think they were going to stream the game. I was saying like you could have somebody behind them while they're running around.
Like hurricane footage from a news anchor.
Yeah.
Bill, we're standing here at SOE Live. It's not SOE Live, but still.
Yeah. We're having a party, you guys do the work. Exactly.
Twitch only beeped out for a moment. It's
Yeah,
fine.
that was weird. That was weird.
We're back.
I've never seen that, actually. I've never seen myself get kicked off of the stream like that. Twitch right now is going all crazy.
Yeah.
The number of people that are watching plus the number of streamers that are streaming is just incredible. It's growing so fast. It might even pass YouTube at some point because it's live. You know, unlike YouTube is all pre-recorded stuff.
Yeah.
So it's more engaging to the audiences and things.
So
Yeah,
you
you-
better get it stuff together.
You get all the unedited stuff
that.
too, like when people are like burping and random stuff happens, and it's like, oh no, they'd edit that out, but they can't do that live.
You can't do that live, and nipples show up when they're doing things.
Yeah, that's
Right
it.
up to the third knuckle, and yeah.
Didn't they just receive $20 million to prevent this from happening? Yeah. Yeah, Boston. So, Omid is coming to Boston, right? We're going to have our thing at PAX. We're going to hang out. Omid, you and I, buddies? He's like, shut up! I'm going to Boston. All right, so the other things that happened recently, they showed us a new thing on the live stream the other day, the Chomper. Let's show the Chomper for people who might not know what we're talking about. This is the new mob. One of the mobs you'll be fighting, the Chomper.
Yeah.
Trending, you're just having a rough time right now.
Yeah.
Is it okay? You got allergies or something?
No, I've only had I mean, you're the one who has had no sleep for
Yes.
the last
3
3
weeks.
years or so.
Yeah.
Okay, weeks, whatever. I've compressed that into the last 24. So
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm just really tired.
I totally feel your pain. I really do.
And no, Cyril, not Trendane nipples. No.
No Trendane nipples. No Geekdomo nipples. Maybe Tobrin nipples, but
That's a maybe, alright.
that's a maybe.
Maybe.
Tobrin nipples confirmed.
What part maybe don't you get? Just okay.
Well, it's 2 whole syllables, dude. I mean, it confuses people.
Now I got Omid having to take some other people to the thing. Felgon's saying, Omid, please bring me to Boston. Omid says, Felgon, if you guys get the thing we're talking about into the game, we'll have to bring you. Ooh,
Nice.
exclusivity.
So the Chomper.
Yeah, the Chomper. So what do you guys think?
So-
Yeah, I was showing
so,
the Chomper for 5 minutes while we're talking.
It's a good thing it's not one of those fire spitting piranha plants, because then we'd be really totally
Mario
screwed
Brother, like
instead of just kind of screwed. Yes, that's right. That's what it makes me think of, is the Piranha Plant. Just a little scarier and upgraded. Still, kill it with the same ways, I'm sure. Fire, hammer, whack it with your tail, whack it with your cape. What else? Yeah, star. Yep. Well, if you're high on star power, everything is getting screwed. You're just gonna rip through.
Yeah, I was lost there for a second too. I was like, what?
Whack it with my tail. There's only going to be humans in it release.
Yeah, only humans.
No, I'm feeling. Yeah, no, I'm hitting up all sorts of from the NES to SNES, and yeah. Anyway,
Zubai asked, "Will we be seeing any of these hazards in alpha or closed beta?" Yeah, I believe the Chomper will be there, right? I mean, that's the whole point. It's going to be in it'll be in alpha and beta. So,
but there won't be combat. So do we just need to have a big enough harvesting tool to grab the entire thing at once?
Oh, there'll be combat. They said there'll be combat, right?
Not at the very start of it, but there might still be chompers at the very start.
And then I would avoid the chompers then.
I wonder how quickly we can just, build a wall if there's like an ability that's a non-combat, just put a wall up and run away kind of thing. You gotta have enough dirt or something to do it.
Oops. Malice likes the Chomper, but they need to name it not the Chomper. I don't know. Chomper's a good name for a plant like that. What do you think?
I think that's the idea that you had there, Mr. Neurotoxin, is very interesting. However, using dirt against a plant is probably not the most. I mean, it would just go, "Thank you." Use it as another place to crawl. I'll just set root here in your thing that you're trying to use to keep me out. Watch this. And just punches right through and starts feeding off the soil, and you're like, "Crap! I should have used fire." Okay.
Yeah, but who's carrying around a bunch of fire voxels? Like a bucket of lava. If you could throw a bucket of lava on it, that'd be awesome.
All right, Omid's actually asking Eric right now if they will have chompers on day one or a little after. So we'll get a confirmation of this after. Okay, so no chompers day one, sometime after.
But the way the plant is designed and the way it looks, you clearly need to have some gardener named Paul Muad'Dib summon it with a thumper or something.
Yes. Muad'Dib.
And yeah. It's
Make chompers only phase for Locke. There's like wherever Locke sets up his house, there's 300 chompers all around it.
Oh, that'd be terrible.
Trolling by Omid. So what else other stuff did they talk about recently?
The claim size, 70 by 70 by 100.
They're so small.
That's what she said. But
okay, that is
vague, then if that's what she said to you, I would see a doctor.
If the smallest unit of voxel, the tiniest little square you can make, counts as 1, then 70 by 70 by 100, yeah, that's nothing. That's like not even a bedroom. So I don't know what 70 by 70 by 100 actually means.
Wait a second, are we talking cubits?
I was going to say they're centimeters.
So that's something else if we could get clarification, because just throwing out 70 by 70 by 100, that's great. We don't have your tools. We don't know your scale.
See, the worst part is what I was talking about before we started the stream, where I was saying that trying to figure out how to explain this would be so horribly sacrilegious. Is I was trying to, how would you explain that it was 70 by 70 by 100, and when I came in was like 70 by 70 by 100, I was like, oh no, we're not going to describe it that way.
It sounds a lot like when they were talking about building the ark. Okay, the confirmation is it's 70 meters by 70 meters by 100 meters.
Okay, that's cool. So it's metric. I love metric.
Was saying he's so angry we're not using cubits. I think it would be good. If it was a cubit, it would be much bigger, by the way. They did say meters. I was actually streaming the other night live while you guys were doing your show, so I didn't get a chance to watch it. I apologize. But 70 by 70 by 100 pixels is much smaller.
Yeah.
Like, cubits are good enough for God, right? And Noah.
I
love that Bill
guess
Cosby
so.
thing, by the way. What the hell's a cubit?
That's exactly what I was thinking of, too. Yeah. What's a cubit? Right.
Noah, build me an ark.
Noah, what's an ark?
All right, so 230 feet for us Merkins. I love the name Furburger. That's a great name. It just has it rolls off the tongue. Furburger. Yes.
Okay.
So anything else that they talked about on that show the other night that I missed? I apologize if I'm just...
That you and I both missed.
Oh, yeah,
we
well, Trent Dayton was on my show also. So Trent Dayton and I missed that show, unfortunately. So anything else, you two, that you saw?
Not that I can remember the top of my head. There's probably like a whole transcript somewhere.
There's a lot of stuff that was talked about, but to be perfectly honest, it's one of those things where people only remember what happens after the comma in a sentence. When I saw the chomper, that pretty much, like, all I remembered before that was about the claim size. And they showed off some of the tools and some of, like, talking about how you can't have people, taking the claim above and below you, that it's, you get to eventually take over the
take over the sky.
Yeah.
And do you go to the core? Did they mention that?
You can go pretty far down, they said, I believe.
That was actually going to be my point. Is that, is that does the 100 only go up, or does it account for going down as well? Does that 100 meters scale back and forth? If you decide to go 50 meters down, does it detract it from the 50 meters up?
That's a really great point. Yeah, if you want to go 100 down, then you can't build anything on the surface.
Exactly.
So
okay.
Can you clarify that for us?
Here's another question. Is there falling damage? Like, if you fall from too far?
I don't think so.
Because if somebody just goes to the highest point in the sky and tries to grab a claim there in, like, a really deep valley, then, they make their little floating island, and somebody somehow gets up there and somehow falls off in a way that they can't get back up there quickly, they're going to fall for a while. So, if there's no falling damage, it's no biggie. But if there is, splat.
It's 100 meters up, Bad Viking says. How far down can we build if is still up in the air? Okay. A little way down, but not 100 meters. Sorry, missed the question. We were wondering, Omid, is if you go down 100 meters, can you not build on the surface anymore? Is it a sliding level? So if you can build 10 feet on the top and then 90 feet below, or 90 meters below. So that's what we're wondering. Is it stuck? Is it a fixed set size?
Because, that would mean that somebody, at the level of the Earth could build 100 meters up and then dredge out an entire valley to get another however far down they could build, to...
Wistesto says that...
to kind of cheat it.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were done. Wistesto said that the small claim size is fine. Many builders use way too much space if not constrained, kind of like how people build in homes and Sims, 100 by 100 meters. That is 100% accurate. Because I know whenever I've got an infinite amount of space to build on, I build the most ridiculously sized stuff. Like, seriously, you end up building, like he's just said, like a 100-meter kitchen. In a real home, you've got a tiny little kitchen that maybe 2 or 3 people can walk around in comfortably. But you don't have something that's just as grand. If you want to build a mansion, of course, but if you're realistic size, and of course these are only your first claims, you're going to be able to get more claims and add them together. So yeah. So
you mean I can have a spaceship with my castle and my lighthouse? Mm-hmm. Awesome!
And your statue to Omid. Now, Omid, you realize that we can only have the statue to you 100 meters
100 meters high.
Yeah. You restricted the statue size. I think we were planning 600-700 meters was the plan for that. It was 666 meters because he is evil, and if we were to put it straight up into the sky like that, it would...
As brutal as this sounds, there's probably a /Omid flag. I know that sounds very O.J. Simpson, but it probably releases the 100-meter limit, and you can build as high as you want.
Because I would really like to at least get into the upper atmosphere if we were going to build this statue. We want it to be seen from space and anywhere on the planet. You should be able to look to the west and see Omid, or wherever. That's just one claim, right?
That's just one claim, yeah.
Metallica says Jaffa, Jaffa, Jaffa.
Yay.
Jaffa, Jaffa. Furburger was saying there's most definitely fall damage, so yeah. Splat.
We're going very religious tonight with Omid's statue being 666 meters, and we're talking about cubits. Yeah. God bless you.
And 70 by 100.
Yeah, 100 meters is only going to be enough for Omid's big toe, says Carnarvon.
Tobrand's eating Jaffa wafers.
Yeah, keep eating.
Wait, what?
Bars.
I've run out. You only give me 5. I didn't buy more.
Yeah, there is a good question. What about upkeep? Are things going to degrade? I've been playing a lot of Rust lately, and things do wear out. Now, maybe not in Landmark. I don't know. Is everything kind of permanent? Like,
That's one of the things they were saying is that when a claim goes unused for a while and the upkeep goes away, and nobody's been there or anything, it just gets packaged up, and I believe it's either bound to your character or bound to your account, and you can just plop it back down wherever you get another claim flag going.
That's a great idea, because in Rust, and I turned on the decay in my server for this very reason, you get everybody coming in, they're really excited, they build a couple things, and they disappear, and they never come back to that server again. And what ends up happening is you have this vast swatches of land with all these little huts on them that nobody's ever going to come back to, and I just go through and just knock them all down, because it's a waste of space, it uses up resources, and it doesn't look very good. So you can imagine in EverQuest's next Landmark, the ability to build anywhere you want, having all of these people building all this crazy stuff, the penis forest and all that, and then
the Dickwoods,
and it's just not ever going to disappear. It'll be Dickwoods there forever.
Like an iconic community thing.
Um,
I think you'll remember for years.
Are there chompers there?
Chompers in the Dickwoods.
Oh,
That would definitely be the epic mob. I think that's why they made the chompers, actually, is to put them in the Dickwoods.
That's just terrible.
That's pretty
Well,
funny.
fuck, if we're gonna get the mature rating, I might as well just use profanity. Fuck's sake, right?
It's okay. We'll swear every week. It's all right.
Yeah, I know.
Jaffa-flavored coffee would be cocoa powder and orange extract. Yes. Upkeep in the game is currency, not real money. All right. So, what else we got? Is that pretty much it?
Oh, there was something else. Something else that came to mind, but I can't think of what it was.
Did we mention about the upcoming lore? It's Lava Storm, something about the Dragon War. It's for as long as it's been since the last one was published, I'm guessing this is going to be a big one. So yeah.
Omid says they had a very dick-related meeting the other day.
Yeah, unfortunately, I just looked over and saw that. So
I can imagine. Honestly, we joke around about it, but of all the things, it's so easy to build one in this game, right? Because you just basically have to build a tower and then put some stuff on the bottom and the top, and you're done.
Oh, don't tell them how to do it.
Well, come on. It's not going to be that hard. So
that's like, don't build a bomb, but here
that was a Freudian slip.
That was a terrible pun. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so so anyway, it's going to be very easy for people to build this kind of stuff, and you can imagine that if somebody doesn't like the game, or they're bored, or they just want to be a troll, they're going to put these things up anywhere they can. And I wonder if they and me doesn't have to answer this yet because I'm sure they're talking about it, but how they're going to, do they have some sort of software that's going to be able to notice the shape and then go, okay, this is obviously a phallic shape and we're going to get rid of it?
It's going to be like YouTube Content ID, I'm telling you.
That looks amazingly like a penis. Yeah. I mean, you won't be able to have a castle with a tower on it because it'll look too phallic. And then Abid says, the amount of salary discussing dicks, it was amazing. Poor Trendane. I'm sorry, Trendane.
I find this to be hilarious.
He really wants to come work at Sony too, by the way, Omid. So you haven't sent him his stuff yet.
Doing all the voices.
Okay, I want to do voice work at Sony. That's not quite the same thing as working at Sony.
Okay, yes, but you know what I mean. He's building the tool, or they're building the tools right now to catch the dicks. Now, boobies, of course, yeah, there'll be a lot of boobies, and there might even be a another type of cave that would be, So we don't want to go there, and we hope that they have some way to.
Face. It's priceless.
Georgia O'Keeffe.
Georgia O'Keeffe cave, yeah. If there's a Georgia O'Keeffe cave, then that could cause problems too. So we want to keep all that stuff out of it. It's supposed to be sort of a PG game.
Chompers.
No
Georgia
chompers.
O'Keeffe chompers, man. There, Coburn. That's what you get.
All right, so Felgon says it's gonna be mostly player-driven reports. So
I got water all over my
That's
hand.
it.
Hope you're happy.
I mean, that's probably obviously how it'll be. It'll obviously be labeled that way. It'll be like Layden says, it'll be a penis flag, and you'll plant it on there and say that this is obviously. Yeah, I did go there, or actually, Trendane went there.
Plant a penis flag. Anyway, so are there any other particular subjects, things of interest?
I don't think I'm mature enough for this subject.
We've
to be
digressed
honest.
enough. Yeah, we got the scruffle going, so you're trying.
The one other thing from the producer video is that that's that whole like medium race, large race thing. You could see one person was clearly one like unit size larger than the rest of the folks. So yeah,
This episode is going off the rails. It's hardly ever on the rails.
on the rails.
Yeah, we have no rails.
This is like a fucking RV just zooming through the desert. I think the driver's on meth or something. I don't know. We're just in the back doing the show right now.
Yeah,
If you remember,
We could be going off a cliff right now. I don't even.
we usually are going off of cliffs.
I was going to say, do you remember in Back to the Future 3 when they first meet Clara? That's what this is. just the snake has spooked the horses and they are gone, and she's just, oh my god, heading for a cliff.
Wait, this was supposed to be about EQN? Yeah. No,
What is he
It's
doing?
supposed to be.
supposed to be.
Okay, so let's. I guess
Q&A
we've
time?
got a lot of questions. Yeah.
All
If none of the devs are going to be joining us here, then I think Q&A time is where we're at.
Oh,
Or should you
Metallica,
Roundtable?
no.
Roundtable.
No.
No, let's not go there.
Cyril,
I'm
why
not
can't
even
we
gonna
say
repeat
vagina?
I'm not even going to repeat
Never
it.
mind. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's go to the questions.
Questions, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
At
Okay.
the very top of the list here.
Okay, so first question is for Trendane from Cyril.
Are we just going to ignore the roundtable?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that thing.
Well, okay, go
Okay.
ahead. Okay, go ahead, Tobran. Tell us about Roundtable. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I forgot something.
Okay, new question went up. In Landmark, to what degree should players be able to negatively affect other players' gameplay? What does everyone think about actually asking this question? Never mind your answer. The fact they've actually asked, do you want to grief other people?
Well, it's funny because people will grief other people anyway. Even if you have the best of intentions starting the game, you get bored, you come by somebody who's annoying you, and you just want to piss them off. And you should actually be able to do that in a game, believe it or not. I think that griefing is actually part of a game. It's trying to block griefing by sort of artificial methods is just not good. It's sort of communistic, if you ask me, or whatever.
Well, it's basically which one do you want? If it's PvP enabled, if it's open combat, then two people come to a place where there's some sort of mineral, and they fight to see who survives and gets to claim it. If it's PvE or non-PvP at least, and they aren't actually able to fight each other, it's just both of them run up and try to mine it as quickly as possible. Now, if I've got a lower level tool and I'm trying to chip away at this thing that's higher level, and some higher level person just runs along, hey, look at me with my tier 5 tool, I got it, see you later. That's not cool. So that's even in PvE, there's still ways that people can be griefers. It's just dicks in general.
If you think about every good game that has come out, just multiplayer, griefing has been a part of it, and that's probably what's made it enjoyable for some parts of it. Like, anyone ever played Trouble in Terrorist on Garry's Mod? The amount of griefing you get in that game is unbelievable, but it's so fun because the whole point of the game is to grief.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
it's like DayZ. I've been playing DayZ a hell of a lot. I go on these servers and people say you cannot shoot people on sight. Then what's the point of playing the game? Seriously.
If that's the way you want to play it that way.
Well, you have to have a private server with passwords or something, because open public servers telling people not to kill other people is just basically saying, if you see somebody, please kill somebody.
If they word it, don't shoot them on sight, well, I'll make sure I carry a machete.
Yeah. What were you thinking, Chandane? I see your brain is working down there.
I knew what I was thinking about just a moment ago, and then I've forgotten it. It was I know what it was. Okay,
No.
Finally, it was the griefing thing, and the fact that I don't like PvP. I don't even like PvP in chess. Which that's
That's
all it is.
I'm gonna move my pawn and don't do anything else, please.
No, I don't like PvP. I don't want to play chess with you. Actually, I want to play chess, but I don't want to PvP.
It burns when you PvP.
And now I'm trying to imagine how you play it. It's like you're trying to convince the other player, let's turn all of our pawns into knights, and then we can go start some new nation somewhere and just ride all over everyone's asses. Yeah.
Bohican says, I don't really think you can compare a building exploring game to a survival and FPS game.
You can.
Yeah. What we're just saying is that there should, or they could be some sort of level of griefing in the game.
It's just comparing apples and Cadillacs. That's all.
Yeah. You can eat both. It just takes a little bit longer.
Yeah.
All right. So now can we move on, Mr. Tobrand?
I'm Pentapod.
Or was there something else?
There was probably something else, but I can't remember what it was.
Okay.
It'll come to us during the Q&A.
Carry on.
Hello, Pentapod. Thank you for coming. All right. So Q&A time. First question for Trendane from Cyril.
I knew that was coming.
Are we losing interest?
We covered that already.
Yeah. No other take on it?
Unless you mean right now. Are we losing interest?
Well, absolutely.
Right
yeah.
now. The answer is I am slowly falling asleep. So
Well, that's why I'm throwing the question at you, because you look like you're passing out down there. But I can understand.
There's somebody's pumping nitrous oxide into this section of the house, I think.
Nice.
No, not really.
You'll be laughing pretty soon.
Yeah, but the thing is it makes my voice drop even further.
Oh.
And pretty soon it's just going to be subsonic, and everything's just going to... We already had one little earthquake down in L.A. yesterday, so it's just going to crawl up the fault line now. We'll be a little bit here soon.
All right, next question. This one is for Mr. Legendary Neurotoxin. What are your thoughts on in-game developer sticky notes they're going to allow us to place in alpha? Do you think it'll be abused by bad apples, or that devs will get real constructive feedback?
Or by bad Cadillacs.
Or bad Cadillacs, yeah.
The devs aren't stupid. They'll know how and who to sort out, how to sort them out and who to sort out for the bad apples and the people that aren't really giving good feedback. And for the people that are giving good feedback, they can definitely prioritize. So I'm pretty sure it'll be a very worthwhile system. Anything that's really problematic or even getting to the point of harassment will be dealt with in a different way by CS probably. But other than that, it's trending.
No, nothing. It's something completely unrelated to what you're talking about. Go ahead.
The giggle fit is happening.
Something about people being taken care of by CS made you laugh. But yeah, it's something that I think is going to be really good, really effective, and when the alpha starts, I'm probably not going to be able to write those documents anymore because I'm going to be under NDA and just going to pound sticky notes everywhere and be like, this is thing, do the thing, this is a thing, do the thing, this is a thing, do the thing. And writing 20,000 character sticky notes that's just like, no. And they have to do something about it.
I should have prefaced you guys, maybe you could have explained what the sticky note things you were talking about, because some people might not know.
Oh, yeah. So, I guess that was something from the live stream I might have forgotten about. Does anybody else want to explain it, or should I?
Me or Trendane, because we were both here.
I was going to say, if by anybody else you mean Tobrand.
Tobrand, did you want to? Otherwise...
Yeah, so let's say you find a bug, and it's in a certain part of the world.
You find a bug, and it's in... Oh, I thought we were saying... Never mind, go on.
Is this a bug that you can slay? Is this like a cricket?
It could be, but it could be a bug within a bug.
Okay, so the cricket is no longer playing a fiddle.
Yes.
Okay.
And you want that cricket to play a fiddle. Sealing a sticky note saying, "Cricket is broken. Fix the fiddle." And devs will see that, and then they'll be like, "Oh, this is on top of our list. Let's go fix that." And then other people will be able to do it in different parts of the world, and then they'll have accumulate this massive list of locations of bugs, where they are, what's wrong with it, And of course, the question is, people might use this and just leave random notes, something that might not be broken, that sort of thing. And that is the system.
Well, it's not just for that. It's also to suggest features and suggest other content and things. So there might be things that can be added that aren't even specific to a location, but it's just putting something out there to one of the specific developers saying, "Hey, here's this thing I've observed," or this thing that the
Does it stick on
suggestion.
the thing in the environment? Like if you take the sticky note and you stick it on a tree that's floating above the ground, does it stick? Or is it
so.
A little
and only the
post-it
devs?
note.
I don't believe they've shown that.
Okay. Well, the
Think it
reason
might
I'm
just be
asking
for
is
the
because
devs.
that's actually a really brilliant idea. If in the old days when we were beta testing things and we saw a tree floating in the ground, and Trendon, you can speak to this probably better than I can, but we would say we'd write a little thing on a bug report and we'd say trees floating. The tree is about 15 feet from where I'm standing, and hopefully they wherever it was that I was standing had an XYZ coordinate and they could see what I was talking about. But being able to actually physically walk up and stick something on a tree, like a sticky note, and say, this tree is floating above the ground, then they just have to look at that tree and say, oh yeah, look, it's floating. What do you think, Trendane? Is that... you were in the Q&A department at EA, so...
No, QA, not
QA department.
Q&A department.
No, not.
There was some Q&A, but it was mostly cussing. It all started with what the, and then,
Sounds about right.
same question over and over and over again. Most of the games that I worked on didn't, with the exception of Brutal Legend, really didn't have. Spore did have some things, but we didn't have problems where, like, we had floating trees and stuff. It didn't. That was one of the few problems we didn't have.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, it was. We had other problems with Spore.
My experience back at TSQ in 2003 was having to film everything on videotapes, and then along with the bug report, we'd take the videotape to the test leads. Now, this was a PAL version of a Scooby-Doo game, so they didn't really have funding for better hardware, and we had to use the old PAL VCRs and the old PAL tapes, so they were all worn out and beaten up. They looked terrible. But it was basically you had to walk to the thing that was the bug and report in the paper. And unfortunately, our terrible dev team, it was 4 people in place, I'm not going to talk about the team, didn't work on our game very much, so things didn't get fixed.
All right, I just want to interrupt real quick because it's going to go off the screen. Chat's going by so fast.
Yeah.
Penapod says, yeah, we initiate the notes. You can't randomly place the dev talk notes on the tree. Okay. It was just something I was curious about because I thought that would be a neat way to tag things that you're finding that are broken. All right, let's move on then.
Yeah.
Metallica for Life says, this one could be for Tobran.
Okay.
What would happen if Domo and Trendane touched beards? Would that be how the second Big Bang happened?
That's actually how Locke was born. This is a very little known fact. This is how Locke was actually born.
He's born of the merging of beards.
Merging.
Actually, I think Legendary Neurotoxins is bigger than mine anyway. Did you trim yours, by the way?
Yeah, I got
It's like about even.
What's up with that?
Yeah, I got a haircut and a trim back before the first episode of the second season, but I think she kind of butchered it. It's way shorter than I wanted her to actually cut it, so it'll probably be just growing out until SOE Live, and then maybe I'll have it just shaped one time. Plus or minus any reason where I'd actually have to get it looking a little nicer, like going to a wedding or having to ride on an airplane or something.
All right, this question is for Omid Dariani. As far as you know, are we definitely going to have combat in the final release? Because I've run across people saying we will.
Final release of what?
I'm guessing this game will... Maybe Landmark?
Oh, okay. Wasn't sure what game you were talking about anymore.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like the beard version of Captain Planet with Locke.
That'd be something else.
Exactly how it goes.
That's something completely different.
Yeah, I can't. Did we get an answer on the Chomper question?
The
I
jumper
can't remember.
question.
Chomper.
Oh, Chomper? What about it?
Whether it's actually going to be in at the start or not. I didn't see in chat.
Eric said that it will not at the beginning.
Okay, fantastic.
I guess he might have left.
The two will probably be going in at the same time. That we won't see the chomper until we have some way to try to defend ourselves against.
Yeah. So that's probably a good way to look at it. So we'll have combat, but not right off the bat.
Right.
I did not ban Omid again. Not yet.
So you just wait.
There's someone at his office or cubicle or whatever he
Cage.
works at. Cage.
By the way, Locke is trying to follow the Twitch, but he can't figure it out on his phone. He's such a Luddite. All right, so the next...
He's probably trying to read the chat on his oven, and it's not working.
Okay, so he's not back. We'll ask him specifically later. All right, question. This one can be for Trendane. With all the deep discussions on crafting, do you think that the game, either EverQuest Next Landmark or EverQuest Next, will actually be as in-depth as far as truly co-op crafting and building weapons, armor, etc. Together in a shop or a guild? Did you play EverQuest Next? Or, I'm sorry, EverQuest 2?
Say no. Yes, I did.
Okay.
A little bit.
I love the crafting system in EverQuest 2. You sit at the tables and you made things. I've seen the tables in the images, so I'm guessing we're going to have tables.
I'm trying to remember what the crafting system was like in EverQuest 2.
It's the one where you click the buttons when the thing comes up. That's what I remember.
I do that in Vanguard. Which I think they were both SOE games, so it's probably the same style of thing.
Well, I'm not familiar with Vanguard, and I only played a little bit, a couple of months. So
Vanguard is among my favorite crafting systems.
Same here.
You'd like to see that crafting system brought into Next?
Or something like it. I mean, it needs to be developed a little bit more, updated for what it is. But it's just.
Can you fill in everybody what it was? Because
I mean, you start out. It's different than it was when I first started because I got two friends to start playing it, just like last week, and you get to the crafting station very, very quickly. It's like one of your first 10 quests is to go in and start doing crafting, and basically, you pick whatever you want your primary thing to be. You've got a choice of being an outfitter, a blacksmith, or
architect,
artificer.
Those
are the three primaries, and then you can take skinning and reaping, mining and quarrying, and lumberjacking and something else. But like, if you want to be an outfitter, basically you take skinning and reaping so that you can gather leathers and cloth and be able to make things like bags and cloth armor and leather armor and stuff like that, which is what I enjoy doing. But basically you go out into the world and you gather the various nodes. One of the first plants you're going to run into is jute and whatnot, and you gather it up. But the really cool thing about the gathering stuff is that if you have 3 people and they all have, because it doesn't matter what you take as your primary and secondary, you still gather all of the tools. And let's say I'm a reaper. My job is to harvest plants. So I've got my sickle, but my 2 friends also have sickles. And as soon as I start reaping a plant, they come along and they help me. They don't have to have the skill for reaping this thing, but if they help me, it drastically increases the yield we get. So it's this cooperative harvesting thing that, on metal nodes or mineral clusters or trees or plants, or even when you're skinning something, the more people you have active in the thing, the more resources you get out of it. Anyway, you take these resources back and you go to your crafting table and you put the materials down, and you basically have a set number of actions. You have 2,000 action points to complete the entire thing. That is your budget for getting this done. You start out and you have a choice of, if you're working on work orders, for example. Work orders, I'm not even going to bother trying to describe them, but you have the option of using the materials that they provide for the work order, or you can use the stuff that you have harvested and it will automatically give you a quality increase. So you have your 2,000 point action point budget to do, but you also have, level A or D through A as far as the quality of the item that you're producing. And the higher the quality, the more bonuses it might have and whatnot. So you have to balance all of this together. And as you're going through, trying to push towards the end of your progress line, you will have complications pop up. And when you're still very new at the crafting process, you don't really know how to do everything very well, so complications will pop up fairly often, and you have to correct them. Otherwise, it creates this decay to how much progress you get, or it'll start cutting down the quality of the item that you're working on if you don't get rid of it. And so you have to, rectify your complications and still make sure that you reach the end of the progress bar before you run out of points, or you lose everything you're working on. And it's really, really fun. It really feels like you're learning and you're accomplishing things, because as you go through and you get better at it and you gain more points, you also gain new skills and new abilities that you can use to either progress faster or amplify your quality faster, produce.
Or the other thing is getting more specificity, so you don't have to spend as many points to get the product completed, or they're more safe techniques. So there's a lot of that, and I really appreciate the system. There's a lot to it. There's different points in the process where you can put in different parts to get modular results, like if you want a certain attribute or certain types of buffs and bonuses. Those are different items that you put in during the process of making it. So I would like a system like that for sure. Now, there's two other things that I would want. One of them is the Star Wars Galaxies level of resource availability, because that game, it turned over resources every week or two, and there was a different version of all the resources. You weren't just using generic iron, you were using the ferrous metals or whatever, and those could be a whole variety of things that you've collected over the course of the past 3 months that all qualify for that, and each one has different properties. Some made better gun barrels, some of them made better armor, etc. So it's the ability to have that level of variety and having like materials, but different versions of them, and maybe a pool of 50 of each material type that it'll cycle through during the course of the 1 or 2 years or however long. So
whenever anybody ever talks about crafting in games, they always bring up Star Wars Galaxies.
Yeah, that game was pretty awesome for it.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate that it changed so much and eventually just petered out. But I think also the EverQuest 2 is always brought up too. So if you could have something like what Trendane's talking about, plus a little bit of the Star Wars Galaxies, that could be a good combo.
Yeah. Now, one other thing I'd like is some sort of an invention or experimentation system that somewhere in the process you can be like, you know what, I want to make this blade half an inch longer, and I'm going to have it taper a little bit, and add little things here and there, and slowly over the course of it.
Though. I'm just thinking that I think a lot of these things are going to be props, because remember the voxel thing, and I think unless they build in some sort of these are not voxel-based pieces of gear, so pretty much however they make them is however they're going to make them. It's kind of the standard old school method of making weapons and things.
Well,
true, but go ahead.
I was going to say,
all right. What I was going to say is, just like how there's a face modification system and such, the ability to have a skeleton on the different weapons and equipment so that they can be stretched and scaled and colored different ways, it's not unreasonable to actually be able to be designed, and it doesn't have to be voxel based either. Trending, go.
Well, not to counter that, but to further drive that point home and kind of a little bit countered, is that you would need to account for varying hitbox dimensions especially with weapons, because if you're going to be changing blade lengths or whatnot, you need to be careful that it doesn't alter how the weapon functions in a exploitable way.
Right. Very true. So
Cyril's eating Jaffas at the same time? Is that what's going on?
I think so.
All right.
And Cyril just said, "Shut it, toe brain." Toe brain.
It's my new name.
Okay, so let's... by the way, thanks, Eric, for sharing the images. That's what I was showing on the screen a minute ago. This is the one for the lumberjack sawmill kind of thing, where you'll be able to do some woodworking.
Yeah, I really didn't need to see that.
You didn't need to see what the sawmill.
The crafting stations. I mean, crafting is one of the things that will drive me to play a game.
Oh, I see.
If it's I mean, Vanguard. I don't like Vanguard. I don't like the. I don't like the game. I mean, it just. I love the character models, the Volmane, the big anthropomorphic wolves. They're awesome. They are so me. I love them. You know, the anthropomorphic tigers and the anthropomorphic foxes. They're great. I love them.
What about
the game?
diplomacy?
I don't like. No, God, I hate diplomacy. I hate it so much.
I thought it was great.
Most of my friends do. I despise it. But the crafting is so good, it will make me play the game because I need to get better and better materials. So I will endure. I will suffer through playing that game so that I can use the crafting system.
Just looking at these things, I'm intrigued. I really want. I'm looking at it going. You know what? I could totally stand here for hours crafting things.
That's why I really didn't need to see that,
Yeah.
because now I'm like, now the tease of soon is starting to get on my nerves.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was fine when I could ignore it. Now I can't.
Yeah, it is really cool looking, and I can't wait to hear more about it. All right, so next question. Yeah, that was from Fecal Thunder. All right, this one is for Mr.
Somebody peeing.
No, somebody's not peeing. That would be somebody visiting,
Oh,
drinking some tea.
oh, I see.
Sorry about that, everybody.
That's okay. Tell her I said hi.
There's only 400 people. Okay, so Kofod says, and this question can be for Mr. Legendary Notoxin.
All right.
Ever since the 15th, people saw how small the claims were. On the forums, people have been afraid that after X claims, you will need station cash to buy and or upkeep said claims. What are your thoughts on this?
You might be able to buy like a special kind of claim with station cash that you don't have to maintain. But no, you're going to be able to buy as many claims as your gold or whatever the limiting factor is will allow, and how much you're actually going to be able to actually maintain. So if you're going to try to take over, 50 claims or whatever, 100 claims, that's totally reasonable if you have the infrastructure to maintain it all. I don't know if station cash will actually help you with that, unless, once again, there's a way you can buy claims that will never expire, or be able to buy like some amount of time that it doesn't need any maintenance for like maybe 3 months for $5 or something like that. But no, it's not going to be something, I don't think, where station cash will be like a pay to win or like pay to get more access kind of thing. I'm pretty sure it'll be.
Well, they did say that you would be able to buy more claims with station cash. I'm pretty sure they said that.
Yeah, but I don't know if they mean like buying a pack of 50 claim flags, or and if they're going to be any different than the standard claims, or what, if they're going to be just the same.
That'd be 50 acres. That's a lot of claims.
But then the first part of the question about how small the claims are, 70 by 70 by 100, that's not actually that small if you think about how much space and detail can be filled in. That's, those are meters, and we can get it down to, I don't know, a centimeter unit size, millimeter. I don't know how big the smallest voxel actually counts as, but it's.
It looks to me that like the medium sized one is probably, or the larger one's a meter. I'm thinking. For the three different sizes that they showed.
Yeah.
So it's probably 1 meter square per. So you'll be able to do 70 down and 70 over and 100 up.
Yeah, and that's.
To build a cube.
That's quite a bit of space to be able to work with in just one claim, and then being able to expand upon that, both horizontally and I believe vertically, would definitely allow for a really large building space. And I guess the other thing is, if people really like your thing, you can charge them some amount of whatever the upkeep resource is to access it.
Yeah.
I don't know if there would be like a donation box or anything.
Okay, so Eric says voxel sizes are shown in the video Jake and I did. Can you confirm that the, at least one of them is at least a standard meter, so that we know how many of those it would take to fill up your claim? So the claims are just the right size to build a small inn or bar. Or a steakhouse.
Locke will be thrilled.
Yes, Locke will be very thrilled. Okay, let's see. Moving on. This one can go be for... I was going to say I don't really understand the way this is written, but I'll rephrase it. I don't know. Okay, Tobran, let's see. Does it gonna be a cap for merging number of friends claims?
Okay.
How they're trying to ask this question.
Is there like a certain number of claims you can only like put together? I think is what they're asking.
But what is a friend?
As many as like could fit, I would suppose. I mean, you can only have so many
maybe
claims.
Maybe they're saying if you merge with your friend, because you know you can make your friend, you can get your friends together, and you can like have a guild, and you can own a huge chunk of land.
Surely it's unlimited, because if you want your whole guild to do it, then that's an unlimited amount of people. That's what I view it.
They'd said that there's some amount of cap that some amount of claim has to be met with some amount of unclaimable territory or land that's not claimed, so that way people don't completely saturate entire continents and make it so there's nothing that can be harvested. So there is going to be some sort of cap at some point, but as for how big that is, the answer is right now absolutely unknowable, probably until at least the end of alpha, maybe even some point during the closed or open beta we'll actually have the finite answer on that. But right now it's unknowable even to the dev team.
One dance into a whoopee. I love that. One dancing in a whoopee. Sorry, old joke. And pretty funny start to stuck. Okay. Alright, this one can be for Mr. Trendane. Okay. So, maybe you know this one. So, to confirm the ground will not heal itself on one's plot if one builds underground.
I don't know, because I thought if that's your claim, that stays yours. It doesn't regen, it's yours, because you've got to package that up. If it regens itself, then it's different to what it was when you sold it. So I'm going to say no.
I mean, yeah, by that theory, we've seen in the videos where they've cut out chunks of ground to put a fort in somewhere, and if it heals up through the thing, then it would be a little bit of a problem.
No, your claim does not reheal. It does not respawn, to make sure that somebody doesn't just make this giant comb of a grid and just walk through it every day looking for rare ore to pop up somewhere that they can mine it easily. That's not going to happen. No.
There's some kick-ass cookies right there.
They are. But here's the thing. They're a flavor everyone hates.
What, chocolate
oatmeal
chip?
and raisin. No,
oatmeal
and raisin.
I love
oatmeal raisin.
Right.
I don't eat chocolate chip.
When I grew up, no one liked them.
No, I'm an oatmeal raisin guy. That's me.
Alright, cool.
Oatmeal cran raisin, and I'm a lot more into it. They've got a little bit more flavor and texture to them.
Okay.
But,
how about this one for Trendane? Okay. This is from Topographic. I want to build a Saturn V rocket. Please don't nerf rockets.
Nerf all the rockets.
Is there a question mark in there anywhere?
No.
It wasn't
It's
really a
pretty
question.
much a statement. Yeah. So Trendane, this is your statement.
Okay.
What would you like to do with this statement?
What would I like to do with a Saturn rocket?
Yes. Felgon says oatmeal raisin is an abomination. Just because you're a dev doesn't mean you have to crap on the biggest, best cookie ever.
Oh, it's not the biggest, best cookie. Let's be reasonable. Macadamia white chocolate, that's like
Oh my god, yeah.
that's an extra tier above. That's an entire tier above.
I'd still rather have the oatmeal raisin.
I'm kind of with Trendane though.
Especially when it's fresh and still kind of gooey and
That's what it is now. I got them freshly baked in the store.
Nice.
Very nice. I do love no-bake cookies too.
So Saturn V rocket, huh? I mean, it's the weirdest thing for me is hearing this NC scum saying something about wanting to nerf rockets. Like, Tobran, that's unlike you.
I'm taking offense
That's
to
weird.
this, okay?
Anyway,
what are they going to build it out of?
awesome
Barrels.
dreams, unicorn farts, and
Rainbows.
rainbows. That's the other one. That's right.
Well,
I think
I
that's
guess-
unicorn farts too, but
It does have the word rock in it, so it could be a rocket. I
Oh yeah,
guess.
that's a good point.
rock it, man. Okay, I'll stop.
Yeah, no more singing like what's his name? Okay, question is for
Is it a question?
yes.
Okay.
I'll do this one.
Just make sure it is a
From
question.
Malice 9000. What are your thoughts on the new Roundtable ability to influence others? Because I started off earlier saying I thought it was a great idea. I still think it's a great idea. I think there should be some level of griefing in a game. I know that it's hard to get your head wrapped around it, but if there are no consequences in a game, then what's the point? If you're totally decked out with the best gear, you have all the abilities and everything like that, and you can just easily walk around one-shotting everything, then the thrill of the game's gone. I'm not saying people have to be able to PvP constantly, but the ability to maybe ruin someone's day by setting up a wall around their property, and they can easily knock it back down. You know, just something like that where you're something else to do in the game. I think they probably should keep those kind of things in the game. That's just my opinion. What do you think? What do you guys think? No griefing at all. How do you?
There's a lot of different ways that griefing could be done. There's even fun ways that it could be done. I
I'm
think
talking
that
about
would
fun
actually
ways. I'm not talking about just making somebody's miserable.
Fun
like a resource dump. Like you've got 50 stacks of dirt, and you just walk up to somebody that's got a node that they're trying to mine. You drop all that dirt and run away, so they auto pick it up. Now their inventory is full, and then you walk over and start mining their node while they're distracted trying to get rid of 50 stacks of dirt. If weight's a factor, that could be another one. That's the Ultima Online style, is you find some newbie who's got really low strength, you dump a whole bunch of something heavy on them, and watch them just do the little one square and get exhausted walk however long until they realize, oh, what the hell, what is all this stuff?
Pensabad, you made oatmeal cookies. Try making no-bake cookies. It doesn't require any cooking at all. Just warm up some peanut butter and sugar and oatmeal and chocolate.
That sounds amazing.
It's really good. So it's a favorite of mine. All right.
I want Nutella on that.
What do you think, Chandon? You were shaking your head. So what's your thoughts?
I have no problem with people having fun in the game any way they want until it starts to negatively impact someone else, which is, to me, the very definition of griefing. As soon as you start to negatively impact someone else's gameplay experience, you are in the wrong.
Okay. Fair enough. I'm playing devil's advocate today. All right, so moving on. So we talked about that a lot already anyway. Okay, this one is for Mr. Legendary Neurotoxin.
All right.
Mr. Furburger asks, how long before Alpha opens will we know what date will it open?
Fur burger in paradise. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Little Buffett for you, ladies and gentlemen.
I hate Jimmy Buffett.
No, you can't.
That's such a hack.
I can't hate Jimmy Buffett. I grew up in South Florida, and I used to go to the ocean all the time. And yeah, I've been to the Caribbean a lot when I was in the Navy. Sitting on a Caribbean island listening to Cheeseburger in Paradise, there's nothing better. On the beach.
I disagree. Go
ahead.
All right. How long before Alpha opens will we know the date when it will open? Alpha will open when Alpha is open. They hope that it will be ready.
No. He says speculate. You say February 2nd at 4 p.m.
Okay. You get February 1st plus or minus 5 days, and if not, then it won't be until February 10th.
Okay.
Wait, let me... 12th, actually.
What do you got, Chandon? Give us your speculation.
I don't know. What's the spread? What's the over and under on this thing?
We'll give EQ next landmark 7 points.
I'll say March 8th.
March 8th.
March 8th?
For Alpha to open?
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
I'll be that guy from The Price is Right and say March 7th.
$1.
Yeah.
March 7th.
I think I'm going to be closer.
I'm going to say February 15th. Plus or minus 5 days. So between February 20th and February 10th. All right. There we go. So that's a good speculation. All right, moving on. How about you, Chobran?
What about me?
I've got a question for you.
Okay, go.
From Topographic asks,
okay.
I saw a Reddit post about a plot size being 70 by 70 by 100 meters. It was supposed to be taken from an SOE stream, which we've already talked about. He might have just come in a little bit later. This true for alpha? Is that large enough? It's only about 1 acre.
Yes, it's large enough. If you want to extend it, you can extend it. You want to get more people, you can get more people, merge them together. You know? I personally think it's big enough, because if you want to do a bigger project, you need more people to help. You need more people to help merge the claims, and you got it bigger. So.
And you can add more claims.
Exactly. You know, that's the size of one claim at the smallest size, I think. So if it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, you can make whatever you want and still have plenty of room, I think.
How big is a hectare?
Oh, that's a big one.
I have no idea.
All I know is that that Scrooge McDuck is the wealthiest comic book character of all time because he has 1 hectare square of gold. I remember that stat because I had to look it up once when I did a show trying to figure out who was the richest comic book characters of all time. So I have to look it up. I can't remember, but it's big. It's a lot. All right. And personally, we talked about this. If you give people too much space, they're going to build these big sprawling things that are just going to be ridiculously large that don't make any sense.
1 hectare is 10,000 square meters.
Okay.
So it's big.
It's big, yeah. All right. Next question. This one be for Trendane. Maybe you don't know this one. Okay.
Excuse me. I might. You don't know.
Any news about the EU part of EverQuest Next Landmark? I heard about difficulty of selling stuff. So I think he's asking about the player studio.
I don't know.
Okay.
Why would you think I'd know that?
I don't know. I'm going around the room. You were the next guy.
SOE said they want to have Player Studio up and running internationally this year, for one thing, and then for another thing, they've said that Next and Landmark are both going to be SOE. They're not going to be ProSieben in Europe. So likely in other places they're also going to be SOE and not done through a third party.
Were they going to be ProSieben at first?
They were at first, but they realized
because
a lot of problems, and especially with the Player Studio going international, ProSieben it's either not going to be a worthwhile infrastructure, or they're going to take too big of a cut, or whatever the thing's going to be. SOE will be able to handle all the legal infrastructure to be able to do everything themselves without having to have a third party involved. And
there is so much hate in Europe over ProSieben, and
there is.
You probably deal with it more, don't you, Tobran? Do you deal with ProSieben for some? So tell us what some of the problems with them are, because you
think you're dealing with SOE. Right, my friend had this awful problem. I'm really lucky because I made my account before ProSieben got involved at all. So my account is SOE, so I'm fine. My friend, however, had a SOE account as well. And he went to go fill out the details, but it's like, you have to upgrade to ProSieben. It's like, okay, upgrade to ProSieben, and they started actually charging more for station cash, he noticed.
Oh, really? So instead of being
went from $8.50 to, I think it was exactly 10. So it's an extra 150 they're just taking. So we were a bit like, oh, okay. So
basically, people are playing the same game, coming from different service providers, and they're getting charged different money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That would piss me off too. So, all right. So there's no ProSieben. So anyway, they dumped it. All right. This one's for. Oh, what happened? You want me?
You're the next person.
Yeah, I know, but I was just trying to see if this was. I got lost for a second. When will the new dev diary about crafting be posted? Any of the devs in the audience want to tell us? They said soon. Terry said soon, didn't he?
It'll either be in the next couple of weeks or it'll be this time next month.
It should be out before then. I hope it's out before then. But we'll see. No hardcore word on that right now, unless Penapod or Eric or Omid want to say something about it. I think Omid's back in the meeting. Okay. Next question. This one's back for Tobran, just because he's into this. If PvP is open world, would there be a safe zone on your plot? So basically, if you're getting chased by somebody, you run on your plot, are you safe?
Okay, first off, I don't think PvP is going to be open world, but that's just what I think. If it is, I would imagine your plot is a good place to be, but that just incorporates problems. Like, say I'm a PvPer, and I'm going around trying to find a fight, and there's one guy standing right outside his claim. He's like, yeah, you want to go fight? It's like, well, no, because if I nearly kill you, I just know you're going to run back into your claim. it's one of these things. I just think it could work, but if players are smart, they're just going to run back to their
I
claim.
think that's kind of fun. It's sort of like when you were a kid playing.
It's fun,
tag
but if
or,
to get that
tag.
far, to
Hide
get
and
to
seek.
them, you know, hide and seek would be fun though.
No, I'm just saying it was like hide and seek. Remember in hide and seek, if you touched the tree, you were safe.
Oh yeah.
Okay, actually what it reminds me of was Incognito Tag from Ultima Online. The spell they had to get rid of because it was too OP and caused too many problems. No matter how evil you were, you cast the spell Incognito and it makes you appear neutral. So evil dude sits on the edge of town, says, hey, come kill me. They're sitting there naked. You don't know what they've actually got. You go over and attack them once. They cast Incognito. Now they're neutral. They call the guards. You get insta-killed, and you get lowered reputation for killing them, and they take all of your stuff.
That is like the most brilliant troll I can ever think of.
That
awesome.
one was awesome. They had to
Ultima
actually
Online
get rid
had
of
the
the
best
spell.
kind of troll stuff ever. I mean, you look at they killed frickin' Lord British. You know, they did all these things that you just look today. You're like, what? How the hell did they pull that off?
Well, the funny thing was Richard Garriott actually got after this guy who kept stealing from people, and the second time he said, you know, blah, 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 I'll, you know, cast you out of this region. And he said, well, actually, you know, Richard Garriott called him out by name. He said, look, you said, you know, this is for role-playing. I'm role-playing a thief. Of course I'm going to tell Lord British that I'm not going to steal again, then go steal again. Like, what are you supposed to do? That's
Chop his head
role-playing.
off. That's
Yeah.
how you role play. The Lord British should take his character, put him on a thing, and chop his head off.
Exactly.
It's His Royal Highness
His
Lord
Royal-
British.
Yeah, right. Sir.
His Royal Highness.
All right. Pen and Pod actually wrote in the chat here that they did record some footage today, and so not this week. Needs some editing and stuff. The date is not final. Just send me all the stuff. I'll edit it for you guys. No problem. I'm pretty good at editing. I do it all the time. All
My
right.
chat crapped out, so I don't even know what's going on over there.
Just keep watching the screen because it's in the middle.
Yeah.
All right. This question is for Trendane, actually. Now that we've seen the Chomper, what other kind of creatures would you like to see in Landmark?
In Landmark.
Mm-hmm.
Like aggressive creatures or just regular
Want to
creatures?
talk about? Yeah.
I would like to see sheep so that you could shear them for their wool. Since we're talking about crafting, I would like to see that very much. Because I'm sure that they're going to have things like jute and cotton and whatnot.
Flax.
And yeah, that kind of thing. I would like to see sheep was the first one that came to mind. Basically any form of wildlife that you would run into in a forest, but that's because, you know, I'm a hunter, so I would want to be able to hunt and cook and, you know, make leather, you know, all that stuff. I mean, just, you know, I mean, for cooking and crafting. Well, cooking is crafting for me.
An undead Omeed.
Yes.
No,
No? You don't want to see
No.
an undead Omeed?
no, an
Really
undead
fancy
meat
suit.
really has no benefit for me, really. That's about all I can think of right now. I'm just,
Okay. Fair enough. Either you guys got anything?
Pigs for bacon. That's all I can say.
Oh, yeah. Pigs for bacon. But see, now, Trendane's thing, you don't have to kill the sheep. But to get the bacon, you got to kill the pig.
You gotta kill a pig.
Yeah.
eggs, you got to kill the chicken.
Ents. That's a great idea. Ents. So you run up to a tree thinking it's a normal tree. You start whacking away at it.
Whacking.
We did that this past week in Vanguard. My friends were like, "These trees aren't working," and he's like, "Wait, there's ants over there." So we ran over. We just started slaughtering ants and chopping them up with axes. I'm like, "This is so wrong. I'm a druid. I shouldn't be doing this."
Just pray over them every time you chop them down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a neat idea.
I like creatures that have a lot of harvestable types of resources, especially this is going to be coming with next week's document. Depending on how you kill the creatures, you could have different resources. So if you kill a chomper with fire, you're going to get ashes and maybe some tough fibers that are charred afterward. But
Charcoal.
if you kill it, if you precisely cut it down with a scythe or something, then you've got two nice well cut halves that you can do whatever with, and have all the resources available. But at the same time, if you get that close, it can just swallow you up in one bite. So it's not that easy to just walk up and do it. That sort of thing. Kill it different ways, you get different loot.
All right, this question is for you, Mr. Legendary Neurotoxin. Is SOE going to give beta access preferences to accounts that have existed since EverQuest 1, 2, and OA?
I would imagine when it starts to get past the stuff where everybody who paid gets access, like I'm pretty sure every Trailblazer gets an alpha on day one. And I think everyone who paid for some access to alpha is going to get it when their phase starts up.
Yeah.
Closed beta, it might be slightly delayed just because of the number of it. It may or may not be previous experience based. It might just be simply first come, first serve.
Yeah. Here's the problem I have is I've been playing EverQuest since beta, but I don't remember my login. Like, I really don't remember what my email account was back then. I mean, that was 1999, so I can't even get into EverQuest anymore with my own characters.
The other thing is with PlanetSide 2. Now, I was a big PlanetSide 1 player. I played a lot of it, and I even got the Alpha Squad thing for PlanetSide 2. When it came for the beta to actually come around, even though I put in a code way early, and I even put in a special code that other people would normally have access to that early, there were other considerations, probably my hardware, that actually kept me from being in the very first phases of beta, the tech test, and wasn't until maybe a month and a half in that me, the person who they used in the videos for the yell and who they love so much for my beer, wasn't able to just get on in. So I don't know if there's any preferential treatment going on whatsoever. It might actually just be a hardware thing when they actually get to the closed beta phase of it.
That's good. Nurgle brought up something I didn't even think of, but so back to the creatures, large silkworms that you could kill and get silk from. That'd be cool. All right.
I want large silkworm steaks, like fillets.
I don't know if I want that.
Why not? Put some salt on it. I think it's all tiny. It's awesome.
All right. So Gamer Girl Power asks, do you know if there will be a game or real life cash cost for the props? As far as we know, I think most of the props you'll be able to either find or earn somehow. But they might have prop packs that they can put together where, you can buy for a few station dollars or something.
There will probably be a way to use Player Studio to put in props, players being able to do that. Now, there might be a streamlined version where people need lesser approval if it's just something that's going to go on their claim, and it might be something that needs like a greater approval if it's actually going to go on the market for people to be able to buy and use. So that way, it's easier to knock down a few dick statues on a few different people's claims. But if you can't allow a dick statue on the market, that would actually require review and saying like, hey, your candelabra is great, but that's a wang on it. So
wangs on each
I want to quote you on that. You can't put a dick statue in the market.
Twitter, go
for it. Do
yeah,
it.
but what if it's role played? Back in the olden days, that was especially Rome. Anybody been to Rome or seen?
Yes, Rome had it. India and Pakistan, those
you go
areas
around
also had, and Thailand had the temples of fertility.
Not just the temples of fertility, but on the tops of everybody's door. As you're walking in, there's like a guy with a raging thing, and on the door.
It's a cultural thing. That culture isn't in this game. So unless you're making a realistic, true to life replica of one of those. Then, and even if you're trying to do that, you'd still probably have to check in with the devs and I don't know if there's a way to put an adult content warning on your claim or anything.
Asphyxis says, but it's a rocket. All right.
It's a rocket ship.
Okay.
I love that movie.
So, this one's for Tobrand, I guess. With the PC specs where Dave gave out today, what are your thoughts? Did he give out specs? I just know he said 64-bit
it
OS.
was just the it. Just the
said
OS.
64-bit OS.
All right.
Not really.
That's saying, get your stuff ready now, and don't say I didn't tell you. 1, 2, 3, 6, 8 weeks in advance. 1 to 2, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Kept that.
Well, you need a 64-bit OS. Stop screwing around with a 32-bit OS, for God's sake. I don't want to hear about anybody playing frickin' this game on Windows 95. I'll lose it. Okay.
Windows 3.11, it's fine.
Yeah,
no
3.11 is okay. That would be fine. All right. Question for Trendane. How much should the new plots cost? $5, $10, $15, or $20?
New plots are the same size as existing ones?
Yeah, I guess he's saying, how much should each one of these new flags cost us?
I think 5 would be about as far as I would push it. I mean, $5 of real world cash is not insignificant.
Yeah, especially you start wanting to build a bigger areas.
Yeah.
And of course, this is infinite space. They could procedurally generate everything if they wanted.
Yeah.
To a point. I mean, once you start locking down entire continents worth of space, I mean, they could scale it so that if you've got a 70 by 70 thing, you can then buy 3 more at $5, so that you've got 4 of them. But if you go beyond that, every time you increase the square size, you go from 5 to 10 to 20, and you could scale it up like that. It would be fine. Then people would try to cheat it by just doing them all, along in one row. But no.
Hold on.
I still go back to the what's up?
No, I just in the thing. Somebody said, "Will my Commodore 64 run Equinox Landmark?" And yes, it will.
Yes.
All right, so
Just take a look.
on that subject with the cost, it still depends on what the features of a paid station cache version will be compared to one that's gotten with resources. Because once again, the station cache version either is there for a period of time and then reverts to a normal one, or it's got infinite, doesn't need to be maintained or whatever, and it's just after a year it'll get packaged up, including the permanent status, if you and nobody else actually accesses it for a year, something like that. I don't know how they're necessarily going to do it, if they're even going to have it as actual purchasable, by the unit, or if it is going to be like by the scale, or just you buy it and it just plops you down a large chunk and it's like, hey, that claim is yours now. That set of 9 claims, it's yours now.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
All right, this one's actually at Trendane. I didn't realize this was for you next. Sorry. I agree, not wanting my enjoyment impacted by some dick with dirt, but some people will argue that being able to dump dirt, detracts from their enjoyment. Would you consider going too far? What would you consider going too far? How could you control it?
That is an incredibly difficult question to answer because it's so subjective.
Mm-hmm.
Different people have different tolerances in their levels of patience.
Right.
I mean, what I may find easily endurable, someone else is going to absolutely freak out over. That is a very difficult question to answer.
Okay.
You would have to go, unfortunately, you would have to go with the lowest common denominator, the highest common denominator, and kind of Care Bear the shit out of it, I'm afraid.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, on the Commodore 64 type load 3 landmark. No, Commodore has been bought out by another company. They bought the rights to it, and they use the same shell as the old 64, but it has a brand new computer inside of it. And it's pretty cool. It looks just like a 64, but it's a thick keyboard, but inside's the whole thing.
Nice.
It's like running an i7 and stuff. Okay. So that was Trendane's question. Next question, Canervan is asking, where's the water in Landmark? I'll answer this one. Okay, so they've shown some water physics and some other videos that are voxel based, and it's not as easy as it sounds, because the water will be a voxel itself, and it'll flow across the land. So if you build a hill somewhere and it has water on it, you dig a hole off of it, it'll flow out like a waterfall. So it's probably coming. They just probably have to finalize how the water is supposed to flow right, and that's why they haven't shown it to us yet.
Probably still working on, does it have mass?
Mm-hmm.
And if so, if it impacts another object, what is its mass time? What is its force impact? So if you've got a dam at the top of a hill in a village, a walled village at the bottom of said hill, and you blow up the dam, and it all comes pouring down, and Superman is not there to freeze it all with his super
laser
breath.
breath.
Whatever, yeah, laser breath. Had a baby with Godzilla or something. And, and that water slams into the wall, not to mention all the trees that it would bring with it and rocks and stuff. Just, I mean, there are. I mean, if they're going to go to the point that I would want to go with it, where we have to account for erosion factors and just scouring and all the mass that comes along with it in a flash flood, the town is gone. It's just gone.
That would be cool, though.
Great
but there's
way
the
to
whole
wipe out
griefing
Earth
thing.
fans.
Yeah, the whole griefing thing. You could take out a whole town.
Water voxels. I mean, it's one of those things where I think about the logistics of actually having it, move realistically and flow realistically, having it actually pass through cracks and crevices and, settle in places, actually having volume to it, so when it's actually settled in a place, putting more water actually makes it kind of rise and pour out the top rather than just it's seeping in, plus or minus groundwater absorption and
evaporation.
Or evaporation. I mean, there are once again so many factors to it that on the surface you could do something that acts like simple water and can do the simple functions of water, but then when we're talking about like playing Terraria and flooding a elevator and watching it just struggle to try to figure out where all the cubes of water are supposed to go. I mean, that's something I kind of enjoy doing. It's kind of funny, but it's that's kind of what I think about with trying to solve voxel water, is making it actually work and flow in so many different ways that it's such a difficult. It's like that each water voxel is its own character, basically, that has, pathing and other features to it.
All right. Question from Barack Blade Song. Do you guys think there will be harsh competition for good plots on day one of alpha, or will the world be large enough so that this won't be a problem at all, or somewhere in between?
What do you class as a good plot, though? That's going to mean different things to different players.
Right, because I might want to build it on a mountainside near a river or a mountain, or an ocean, and somebody might want to build it in the middle of the desert, and somebody else might want to build it in the far north, different biomes.
Okay, this is just a little. I've played enough alphas that I can say this with a reasonable amount of certainty. On that first day, if by some magic you can download the client, patch it up fully, get into the server, stay in the server for long enough to get enough resources to actually put down a claim, you'll be glad to just put it anywhere you goddamn can and start playing with it, because you don't know how long before the next fucking closure, wipe, rollback, whatever is about to happen and erase all of your progress. Day one of alpha, that's how it is. We're talking like 2-3 weeks down the road, it'll be a different story.
Yep.
But at that point, people actually played it a little bit and maybe have a better idea of what a good plot is. Day one, no, everybody sucks on day one, even a veteran like me.
Yeah, good point.
My answer was going to be kind of the TLDR version of that, which is simply yes.
Fair enough.
Lots of fierce competition.
There will be. There's going to be things people are looking for. I did skip a couple. I'm sorry, I have to go back here. This one's for Tobrand. Do you guys think EQN and Landmark Player Studio submissions department is going to go crazy, since the tools are being built into the game are not like PS2 Player Studio submissions, which requires some Photoshop or 3D program experience, so not everyone can do it?
The fact it's so open will just be like everyone think, I'm a professional, I'm going to do this today. There will be hundreds of people doing that. Like, I'll probably do it at some point as well, just to test it out.
Yeah.
But, you have to give people a chance to try these things. Sometimes it might be good, sometimes it might be bad. But there will be a lot of pressure on those departments to try and get everything sorted and done.
Yep, I agree.
That's just what I say.
You'll be like, look, I made you a castle.
Yeah.
Scale's a bit off.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next question.
It's a giant rubber alien fortress.
Yeah,
They're just very tiny aliens.
This one's for Legendary Notoxin. How do you think Sony will handle choosing builds to use in their game? Buy it from you, give credit in the game, but take it for free? I guess he's asking.
Choosing
Buildings, maybe?
builds.
Maybe buildings.
Choosing buildings. For, you mean things that are actually going to go into next from Landmark?
Yeah. We already talked about that, but maybe he doesn't know.
You'll probably get credit. You might get some amount of monetary compensation every time it comes through, but I'm pretty sure anything that you make in Landmark is automatically SOE property,
Yeah.
and they have the rights to it. You as an artist will be able to, you know, claim your work in terms of when payment and stuff comes around, but they all own it. They own everything about it. They own the items, they own the subscriptions, and if the servers sometime, you know, 50 years from now go down and everybody's progress and everything is finally, you know, wiped away, that's theirs too. They own that. It's all, you know, we never own any of the stuff.
Yep.
And if there's anything different than that, it'll be in the terms of use and such, but I don't know how much SOE's lawyers want us to be able to be like, no, you see, I actually this is my own original character, Kujibu. You see, I made him up myself, and I've tried to get patents on him and stuff. No, you can't do that. And I was actually a character from Portlandia. But anyway.
All right. Let's see here. Wait. What's up, Trendane?
No, I'm next, I think.
You would be next if there was another question. So I guess we might be done. Is that it for everybody? Have we answered your questions?
Think so?
I think so. All right. It's just a few minutes early from stopping. I actually have some things I got to do anyway.
Oh, okay.
So let's go around the room real quick. Legendary Neurotoxin, tell us about your channel and stuff.
Yeah. Still don't have the channel going quite yet, though I have started doing a little bit more playing on live streams, especially I joined Tobran and Platus for some Terraria recently.
Oh, nice.
But I do have my website, legendaryneurotoxin.blogspot.com. That's where I've got all of my current concepts, including the extended version of the Lore Languages document and concepts for a couple other games. And you can hit me on Twitter at legendaryneuro, or on Steam at, well, Legendary Space Neurotoxin. You can find me. Look for the gorilla head.
Very nice. Tobran, go.
Oh, me just got back.
I know.
Yay!
He was
Welcome
actually
back,
sitting there the whole
Omid.
time. He's hiding. He was like, look, now they're going, I can say something.
Didn't we have a question for
We had a
Omid?
question, but
I
at
can't
this
remember what
point-
it was.
So I remember what it was. I just... go ahead and talk about it. I'll find the question. I'll ask him, see if he
Okay.
wants to answer it.
Okay.
YouTube channel, it's over in Ironwood, where I do EQN Talk, a weekly show where I sum up all the news from the week in like 5 minutes, and it's awesome. I'm also on Project Party Like It's 1999 with Lock 6 Time, and that's fun, so check out his channel, see that. I also do a lot of live streaming on my Twitch account. It's like Torbrand95, because I couldn't get Torbrand Ironwood for some weird reason. But that's that, and I'll probably go live again after this, because I've got some things to mess up. And that's it. Yay. Trendane.
Trendane, go ahead.
That way.
Trendane, you gotta sleep, man. After this, you got to take a nap or something.
I've got to drive over to a friend's house to take care
get
of
some
their
coffee
dog.
or something. You need some
So.
help there.
Yeah, something. I'll just make myself a cup of tea first. As for me, I am. Who am I? I'm that guy.
Trendane.
Yeah, that one. I haven't done my reference finger, so I need to.
It's
Okay.
over in the lower.
So it would be
Yeah,
over
there.
here.
Mhm, I got it.
So I was like, it's over. No, wait, it's on this side now. Yes, I'm trending everywhere, pretty much. So, yeah, I'm actually getting a lot more requests to do voiceover stuff, and I actually got an offer that pays,
All right.
Nice.
but it'll take me about 6 minutes to do it. So I'm only going to get paid about $12. But that's
That's money.
It's something.
that's
How
Jack
much
in the
work
Box.
is? I mean, is it like you reading an entire book, or is it just?
No, God, no. It's just like 3 paragraphs. Somebody's doing some lore for their organization in that other game that we talk about,
Mhm.
Star Citizen, and they wanted me to do the narration of their lore. So
That's awesome.
I agreed for that. And then pretty soon, at some point in the very near future, I think probably a little bit closer to February 1st, Starship Sofa is going to post my narration of The Infiltrate by C.C. Finley. So that'll be really cool once that goes up.
That's great.
Yeah.
So you have to keep us informed where and how we can get this or listen to it or whatever.
Okay, yeah. It'll be on their site. You'll be able to just click a thing and listen to me read you a story.
Unfortunately, guys, I cannot seem to find the question here. So, sorry about that, Omid. I know you're sitting there waiting with bated breath to hear what the question was I had for you, but sorry. All right. And
it was about the Omid statues. No, wait, we already covered that one about having it 700 high. No.
Yeah, never mind. It's
never
okay.
mind.
I'm Geekdomo. I do my own stuff over on my channel, twitch.tv/Geekdomo. You can follow me over there. Follow me on Twitter, and I tweet a lot. So if you don't like to be tweeted at a lot, then don't follow me. YouTube, YouTube Geekdomo. Pretty much everything's Geekdomo. So yeah, that's it. I guess that's it for tonight. Yeah, you're off the hook there, Omid. Thanks for being here tonight, Omid, Eric, Pentapod, and anybody else who was in the Sony dev team.
I saw Morgard in there too.
Oh, Morgard snuck in too. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys they're here, but they don't say much, so I don't know. Yeah. All right, so that's it for this week, and we will see you all next week. Hopefully, some more exciting stuff. Maybe we'll be playing Alpha by next week, Omid. So can you make that happen, maybe? You're off the hook for the question, but if you could just at least open up Alpha for the rest of us by next week, would be fantastic. And not just the guys in the cast right now. I'm talking about everybody.
Zombie Omid?
Yeah, we
Show
have
everyone our landmark faces.
No, that's Pentapod's job. We have to. If we ever get out on the show, we're going to. I said Felgon. That's Eric, right?
You said Eric, yeah.
Yeah, isn't it Eric Felgon or Felgon Eric? Or maybe I have his name wrong. I'm sorry. I could be wrong.
He's the guy.
Oh, okay.
That's the person. That is the droid you're looking for.
That is a droid I'm looking for. Yeah, thanks for coming, devs, and thanks for giving us some inside information. I always love the little tiny things you give us that aren't really super important, but it makes us feel special. So that's awesome. We will see you all next week, and until next time, see ya.
Be careless.
Yes, folks.